Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Monday night here at Proficiency Bonus. Thank you for bearing with us a couple of moments. We had some minor technical issues right as we went to go live, but we are all here and ready to roll. A couple of quick shout-outs before we get started tonight. I want to say a big thanks to Twitch, the platform that we are lucky enough to be able to share this insanity with you through. A couple of, well, I'll say more important than Twitch. I want to say thanks to Little Dragon Corp up in Canada. Put an exclamation point Little Dragon into the chat box. It'll give you a link to their website. You can use the discount code PROBONUS, get 10% off your order with them. And I did it again. I forgot to bring my dice up for the evening. But you've heard us. I shill for them all the time. The more I claim that I use Little Dragon dice all the time, the better they seem to roll for me. So, going to keep that tradition alive. And then we have our friends in Evans, Georgia, Cardboard Castle Games. You can put exclamation point CCG into chat. Get you a link to their website. If you happen to be local to them or myself, I'm about an hour and a half north of them. Definitely swing by their brick and mortar location in Evans, Georgia. Let them know you're a fan of Proficiency Bonus and they'll get you discounted at the storefront. So definitely check them both out. We love them. They've been big supporters of the channel, both Little Dragon and Cardboard Castle. So thank you for everything you do for us. And with that, we're going to jump right into last time. Our party has been poking around Candlekeep, looking for information on all manner of different things. As a result of some of their poking around, they came to realize that something that they may or may not potentially need was residing in the Great Reader's office. It is something that both Furia and Art had noticed in passing during their initial conversation. A beautifully dark-bound leather book with silver runes printed on it. The party has decided to basically break up a little bit at the moment, as three of them, Murdoch, Furia, and Art, proceeded to wait and have a conversation with the reader, expressing interest in this book. Sarah, escorted by her good friend Lydia, made way to the temple to attempt to commune in a proper fashion with this deity rather than yelling at him from outside his establishment. And Rose made her way back to finish her conversation with Little One, the ogre, who has just finished reading a wonderful story about a group of adventurers slaying Imrith, the Doom in the Desert. And as our party has gone their separate ways for the moment, we've jumped back right into the reader's office. As the great reader, Murdoch and Furia, watches Artemis reading through this scroll and concentrating, has successfully cast this spell. And you all watch as Art's eyes sort of cloud over. And you can see an Art's face as they're just sitting there, eyes open, motionless. This almost swirling gray expanse within their eyes. And we turn to you, Art. As you feel this strange, otherworldly presence seemingly surrounding you. And you have 5 questions you can ask this entity that you have contacted.
Oh boy. I guess the first one will be, are you Fist and Daptylus?
After a couple of moments, you hear, no.
Crap. Okay. straight in there then. Is this key that we're looking for a physical object?
No.
I hate that. Does someone here in Candlekeep know about this key and or how we can get a hold of it? Acquire it?
After a couple of moments, you get a response back. Unclear. Uncertain.
Does this book hold information pertaining to the key?
After, hold on, let me check something real quick. I want to be very careful how I word this. Okay. You actually get a short phrase back this time instead of a single word. With my key, secrets are yours.
Is the key in a book?
As you ask that final question, you can feel this sort of presence starting to pull back from you a little ways. And you hear a final, no. As it starts to retreat back.
I don't know what to do with that.
Well,
That's 5, isn't it?
Yep.
that's fine.
So as you feel this presence pulling back from you, Art, go ahead and make an insight check for me.
You talking to? He said my key. He said my.
15.
Oh, okay. Oh, who'd we lose?
He's gonna pop back in.
Oh, okay. So I just saw my camera shifted for a second on the corner of my eye. As you're feeling this pull back, you get a strange sense of almost let's say almost disappointment
Me too.
as
Oh,
this presence is sort of retreating back from you. Very difficult to read. You're not sure if it's disappointed in you or something else, but you're definitely sort of picking up on that vibe a little bit. And as you feel that as it's presence back, the rest of you can see as that sort of gray swirling that had overtaken Art's eyes slowly starts to fade and drift away like fog in the early morning sun. So eventually Art's eyes clear, and Art, you can see your friends in front of you once more with the Great Reader. As the parchment you had just been touching to cast your spell, you can see the runes on it burning away.
oh, please say that you have something.
I have something.
Okay, well, that is what I...
They did what you asked. I mean,
What do you have?
The key is not a physical object. It's not in any book.
not in any book, as in it's not like a spell in a book or something.
I asked if it had to do with this book, and I kind of like gesture. The answer was, with my key, secrets are yours.
Well, that sort of makes sense. There's stuff in that book that we can get at with the key.
And we can't read this book, right? Normally?
Does not appear to be able to now.
Could
I
you read it?
asked if they were the author of this book, and they were not, so I don't exactly know who I was talking to, but
They said with my key?
I believe so.
Well, we... Obviously someone very important then.
Well,
That's...
wouldn't it be the Dark Queen? Isn't that what it said in like the intro? Dark Queen's key gets at the book.
If I was talking to the Dark Queen, I was just gonna have to give me a moment while I have a panic attack inside my head for a couple moments.
We'll focus on what
Okay,
we
I'm
do.
back.
Oh, that was a fast one. Alright. Well, if we're going off of it's not in a book, and we're going off of it's not a physical object, that doesn't leave much. It also has to be able to allow us to get the secrets from this book. So, it could be like a spell, like you said,
Could be.
but just not one that's written in the book. It could also be a language, and the knowledge of that language would allow you to be able to read it.
Could it be just like a passcode of some sort being spoken?
It could be some sort of phrase or something that would release possibly an enchantment on the book that then makes it legible. It could be a person who knows how to read it.
I look over at the reader. Have you tried casting spells on the book to see if you can get inside of it?
He looks over at the review. We've tried a few things here and there, but it's... we've had a few make attempts with comprehend languages. And you can, again, get that same sort of introductory bit, but it does not give any inkling of the power within. The more we stare at the inner portions without it, it just sort of makes your mind fuzzy.
So what is here that's not a book, but not a physical object? Like a riddle. I don't like riddles.
Me neither.
Parchment? Just a piece of parchment, maybe? That's not technically a book.
Is it a... Wait, you said it wasn't physical though, right? No.
The key is not a physical object.
But it could be spoken word of some point. Motion of a hand.
Has an idea. I don't think Lydia does.
Well,
Oh no, Lydia left me.
Exactly. No.
Well, I'm still thinking that, you know, it's going to be written down somewhere. What we need to do to open the book. What form would that be in? That's my inkling. I mean, I don't really know other than that.
The reader will look at the group. If it's not a physical item, there are only other things here that are not physical items would be the people or the creatures.
Do you think a
Sure,
person
that's-
here could unlock the book?
You have gotten further than we have. So it seems at least someone took a liking to your small friend. And there are a wide number of people, never mind the visitors who arrived to perform their own research. And we have others, and if you've been to the Hearth at all, I'm sure you've seen Little One. Other curiosities, such as there's Miriam in the underspaces.
Who's the best person to talk to that knows about the people here?
And so he sort of thinks a little bit. Depends on exactly what you're looking for. It's you could try the guards at the gate. They'd be able to tell you about the ones who are coming in and who are currently residing within in terms of visitors. The avowed, they are numerous. It's difficult to keep them all straight. But if you're talking over long term, there are risks involved, but that would be Miriam. She attacked 1,500 years ago and has resided in the catacombs ever since.
I mean, past might be our best bet.
that is,
You know,
yeah, that's very old. I was going to ask who possibly the oldest resident was.
That would probably be Miriam.
but we were told that the key does reside here, so if the person is a key, then they must be here. And I don't remember if Art told us the question about the people. Did you?
I don't think so.
Okay, then I can't make that conclusion.
Well, the original message. I feel like the person who left the original message to us would have very careful choice of words, and reside would imply not a visitor. In my interpretation, it would mean this is their residence. They live.
This Miriam person does sound very interesting. Just, you know, out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
If nobody else has a better idea.
You know,
You said
I
there
did-
was. Oh, sorry. What was that?
I did ask if like anybody here knew about it, and it seemed to be like So,
That's not a no, like the other questions.
Yeah, but they didn't know for sure, so
It's not the thing that they're thinking.
maybe not a person, but something close to a person. Look, I'm not that smart. I point at Art. You're the smart one.
God, book smart, maybe not.
Well, that's what we need right now. I just know about plants.
It's not in a book. I can't help you. I mean, I suppose that we can ask around, but
Maybe we should talk with the others, get them in on this, see if they have any ideas.
Yes, my brain is close to bursting. I've never been so frustrated.
We have done a lot of reading today, too.
Yes. Maybe the others have had some sort of success with Ogma, maybe, because that does not necessarily count as a person living here, but as a presence who's here. I wonder how they're doing.
block wipe. Yeah, or that.
And we will pan over to said tea-drinking grandmother and her furball companion. What would the two of you be chatting about?
So why do you keep the pinky up when you drink the tea?
Well, it's polite. You
I don't understand why you have to keep the pinky up. So why is it polite?
you put
I don't know.
you put your pinky first, and then you set the cup down as well.
But they're so small.
No.
I can,
Put
I
your-
can barely
put-
hold it between my.
Put your
my-
hand up more.
Ah!
More.
Ah!
Well, now you're just being silly. Have a biscuit instead.
All right.
I hold my pinky up as I eat the biscuit. Tea biscuit. We're not having like sausage and gravy.
Okay.
Granny and her scones.
I found these at the bottom of my purse.
They're still delicious.
If you dip them in the tea, they get soft again.
Mmm. Great idea.
Lydia, that's not your pinky finger.
You know
That's
what?
very rude. Put the
That's-
the little one.
Fine,
the
I
little.
thought you wouldn't notice, but
Just because you're a sailor doesn't mean you have to be like that.
all right.
So, Rose, as you're sort of seeing this out of the corner of your eye, as you and Little One have sort of finished your discussion on the story, what would Rose be looking at doing next?
I think I would continue talking to Little One and start to ask some questions about keys of knowledge or a book in the Great Reader's office, see if he knows anything.
Okay. So as the two of you are just sort of bouncing around having this conversation, he doesn't seem to know anything about keys of knowledge. But he does mention that many of the great readers, if there are tomes that people haven't been able to discern or things of specific interest to them, sometimes they will end up sitting in their office. So there are some things that Little One seems to insinuate that if you have somebody going and looking for a book about something and it's not there and they say someone else may have checked it out, it's possible it could just be in a great reader or one of the readers' offices. Because they wouldn't have any way of knowing whether or not, one of your fellow visitors had checked it out or if someone else had it. But after a little bit of time... Now, actually, before your friends eventually arrive to fill you in, Artemis, would you be attempting to leave with said book? Or would you be leaving it in the office?
No, he gave me a scary look when I kind of rushed towards it in the first place, so I feel like I would probably, probably slide it back his way.
Okay. You slide it over to him. He actually slides it back towards you. At the moment, you are here for at least a few more days. Enchantments will prevent you leaving with it. Hold on to it for now and see if you can find out what's within.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving permission. I'm sorry about rushing after it.
It can be hard to hold oneself from knowledge.
Alright, and I'll kind of gingerly grab the book. I'll do my best.
And then a little while passes, and eventually you find yourselves entering the hearth. You can see Lydia and Sarah sitting and apparently enjoying some tea, some more than others. Rose is over with little one. The two of them seem thoroughly involved in some conversation. What would the three of you be doing?
I'll order a drink.
Okay.
Do we see the three of them come in?
Oh yeah. You and Lydia probably do. Rose, go ahead and make a perception check. Because you've been really sort of focusing in on this conversation. You've been waiting to talk to little one for a little bit.
A little bit.
13.
I'm sorry, what?
A 13.
Yeah, you see him come in.
Okay.
Up to you if you do anything with it.
Murdoch will order a scotch on the rocks, and if they have some, I'll get a little bowl of peanuts or something.
You roast them with your dragon breath.
I can't do that.
Oh yeah, they've definitely got a.
Be dragon racist.
They've got some lovely boiled peanuts.
Boiled?
South Carolina staple, my friend.
Is there at least salt on them?
I'm going to ask my partner about that because we need to have a conversation.
Babe, I don't think this is gonna work out. You boil peanuts.
That's fine. She'll take them.
No, legitimate. They're regular. I just had to throw that out there.
Okay.
They're horrifying. Sorry, friends down here. They're just horrifying. But yeah, they provide you again, most bar peanuts are, they are heavily over salted. But easy enough. They take a couple of coins from you.
Hello.
I'm gonna tap Lydia on the arm and point at her. Friends, and go over to Murdoch. Murdoch.
Yes.
Please tell me you three found more information than I found.
How
We found
much
information.
We
How
found
helpful.
some.
Ugh.
Well, I, for one, had a vision of a wizard or arcane personnel of some kind, summoning a creature from water that was bleating like the goats we ran into. It might have been a goat. He had a crystal and a staff, and I think it was magic. And that's the only answer I got about the master. Wait, no.
That was the answer. What
Yeah,
was your
you
question?
asked about the master past and present.
Yeah.
Yes.
I asked Dogma about the master of past and present. He told me that he is outside the time mortals not meant for, perverses places not meant to, and then I saw a man who looked like a snake with white flowing hair standing at a pool, and he was saying some sort of magic. It was very much like Artemis. I'm gonna put my hand on Artemis. It was like how Artemis does their spells, very, very ooh. And yes, and then they summoned the goat thing from the water.
Is that what I do? I do woo.
Well, you know, you mutter some stuff, and then woo, and then you woo, and you make the magic.
I'm gonna order a scotch on the rocks.
I put the peanuts in between us.
And at this point, Rose hears like the rest of her party, so she'll pat little one on the back, say thank you for the story, and I'll look for those family members in Waterdeep you told me about. And I'm gonna head back over to my friends. Now,
Gives you a little nod.
and then I'll join the party.
Hello, Rose.
Hello. So, did we learn anything from the Great Reader?
Well, I feel like we found the lock, but we came here looking for the key. If that makes sense.
Okay. Well,
The key would reveal knowledge in that book. The book is not the key.
I mean, it sounds like something at least. One step
But-
closer.
It fills out the last part of that magic mouth message, which was secrets. So apparently there's secrets in that book, and we can't read it until we get the key.
And the key is here. It's not here. Do we?
Well, according to the magic mouth message, it's here. But Art found out.
Well. The key.
Art, do you just want me to say it?
What did I find out though? I didn't find out a lot.
Well, you found out that it's not a physical object, like something you can hold, and you found out that we're not sure if a person here knows about the key.
Not sure. Yes.
Oh, I
And-
asked the little one there if he knew anything about the key, but he didn't really know anything. So
And you asked if the key was in a book, and the person said no.
No.
So we're thinking somebody here might know about it, or at least know about how to get to it. And the reader mentioned somebody named Miriam that has been here for a very long time.
Very.
okay.
And it's sounding to me like a good idea, or at least an idea, maybe not good, to go down and talk to this person.
I didn't get
Seems
to
like
ask.
the best we've got. So
Yeah, I didn't get to ask the reader. The reader said there were risks involved, and that this Miram attacked. What was it? 1,500 years ago?
And
Very old.
she's still back.
That doesn't sound good.
attacked what? Someone who just approached her, or
No. Attacked Candlekeep,
oh,
I believe. Right?
And
That
they
was the
kept her
implication.
here?
Yes.
I don't know, but I'm with Furia. I think if anyone's going to possibly be able to give us our next jumping off point.
Well,
might be
the
this-
other thing is, how long ago did the key get put here? If the
When-
person we're getting these for is Master of Past,
Past.
who knows?
It doesn't mean that it happened
Question.
last week. So,
Oh, he is also master of present, so perhaps he's doing it right now.
Yeah, but then you'd have to be future too.
I take a drink of my scotch.
I think that
You're
we should-
right. This is a heavy conversation.
I think that we should talk to this Miram. The running theories in my mind are that this key is some sort of, like Fury mentioned, like a passphrase, a password,
oh yeah. I mean,
a spell, a language that has been lost. Though they
Or-
tried comprehend languages.
Yeah, we did ask if they tried spells, and I think all of the general ones that we could all do have probably already been tried.
And he did let me borrow the book for a little bit, so I can.
So if
I
we
can
do
just-
go visit this person or thing, creature, if they are the key, then, I mean, there we go.
Say something, but I don't want to sound stupid. Which is different from normal. When I
Oh,
don't
Lily.
care if I sound stupid or not.
Oh,
Oh, you're
I'm not stupid, Lydia.
What if this is a musical key that we're looking for? Something to play or something? That's where my mind first went.
That's also
Like a
something.
metaphorical
maybe, yeah.
key or a key of something else.
Oh, you
that
mean
I
like
don't-
in key?
Yes,
Like,
to play
oh,
Chord of
oh.
chord
I
or
don't know.
something in a
Eh?
key and it's not written down in a book
and
somewhere. so
we
maybe
have
it's like
a few instruments among us, don't we?
oh. I'm a
That-
little
that's
upset
just
that I
the
didn't think
first
of that.
thing I thought of, but it might be
Well,
completely off
we'd
the
still
mark.
have to figure out what the tune is or what
Yes,
the note
but-
is.
But I was just thinking that key could also mean that. So
Well,
that's
Something
Alright.
to keep in mind.
I also have an idea. Artemis, show me the book.
Are you gonna stab the book?
No,
Are you going to write in it?
no.
Are you going to bake it into?
Or
oven?
rip it open?
I'm not going to destroy the book. I
Okay.
have an idea.
are you going to put your weird hand on the book?
My hands aren't weird. My hands weird?
I meant the mark. I apologize.
I'm okay, but please.
Sorry, I've had a long day. My normal restrictions on the choices of my words have been loosened over the course of the day.
Filter.
You're
Yeah,
a
you
mean
have a
drunk,
filter.
Murdoch.
My filter.
I'll slide the book gingerly over. Please be careful, and like extra super careful.
I'm gonna
It's on
open the
the-
book.
It's
I'm
on
gonna take it.
loan.
Gonna take a deep breath, and I'd like to bleat like a goat into the book.
Okay.
Snap my head and take a and look at her as she's
I drink my scotch.
I order one.
Me too.
I probably had an ale while I was sitting with little one that I still have with me.
Meh.
As
Can I
those of
take
you
the
who
Bartender
are
book
just like-
back now?
getting
Bartender
drinks
is
and
like,
starting
"Man,
to,
scotch.
or
Scotch
just
is
starting to
popular."
pound yours, you see as about 4 or 5 people within this establishment all turn and look at Sarah, just like,
She's like trying different inflation. Meh.
What's
Someone
this
put
idea,
that-
Sarah? I'm not sure I follow.
Well, the person in my magic vision, were you here when I spoke about my magic vision? But the person in my magic vision, from water, they birthed a bleating animal, and so if that has to do with the master
Wait,
of past and present,
wait.
Wait, you it was a
You-
person,
this
not an animal.
Was this a goat that they?
it was a humanoid form that bleated like a goat.
Do furbolgs bleat? Do I know this?
Do you?
No.
Have you
Okay.
bleated?
You would have the
Wow,
most
the
experience out of all of us.
I'm going to reiterate.
Still bleeding.
If you want to leave the book, if you want to leave with the book with me tonight, I can try on my violin going through all the musical keys that I can accomplish on it. Otherwise, I think we should talk to Miriam tomorrow.
I think she doesn't
I
attack
have
us.
my flute as well, but it's not as. I don't know. It doesn't have as many notes on it as a violin.
Yeah, I think
Oh, I've
I
got
think
your
the violin might be
hurdy-gurdy, I
best.
don't have it on.
I think my violin would be best just for the range that it can cover. Just to check that. But do we
I
all
take the book
Oh, my
back.
concertina. Wait, do I have a hurdy-gurdy or a pot?
You have a concertina.
I could play on that.
You've never had a hurdy-gurdy.
You've never
I don't-
heard
why
Kind
of
of
it.
similar, but yeah, it's a
That'd be
concertina.
cool.
You've also never played your concertina.
No, I don't.
No, on the boat.
Yours.
On the boat when we all had the concert.
maybe
and
you
Oh
don't
yeah,
want
we
was
did.
there.
Yeah, we did once.
You know, the
Hey.
violin
Yeah,
isn't,
we
the
barely-
violin isn't even my main instrument.
What's your main instrument?
No,
Cutting
I
wood?
have the book. I'm closing the book. I'm putting it away.
My
Stop.
main, my
Oh,
main
that shade
inst-
you throw?
my main instrument is a dulcimer.
Oh.
I just also play the violin and the flute because I'm a bard, dude. I got a lot.
Okay.
Art, I'm really tempted to cast polymorph right now.
Of the kind.
The book is in my bag. It is being closed up. I'm leaving the table.
The book is gone, Art.
Sarah,
Sarah.
if you don't stop bleeding, I am going to turn you into a goat.
Good. That way I can get the correct range.
The
I'm
book isn't even here anymore.
Well, did it?
Atmos, give me
Did
the
it do
book.
anything?
oh
Did you feel
anything?
anything? Did you feel magic within its pages?
all of you.
It was not goat magic.
A few minutes
I
goes by,
think-
and a lovely plate of food is brought over to the table.
Yeah. What is it?
And they set it down, and they set it in front of you, Sarah.
Uh-huh.
And they
Ooh.
gesture over at one of the other tables. They
I
sent this
looked-
for you.
I looked to the table.
And you can see it's two members of the Avowed with their little sashes on. One just looks over and he's still sort of chuckling. Looks over back to "Meh."
What did they give me?
And you are sitting in a lovely. It looks to be basically like goat chops. It's roasted
like lamb
goat.
chops?
Nice.
Yep.
We're making fun of you.
But it's delicious.
But it's free food.
Anyway,
Terrifying.
speak with this Miriam tomorrow. Is that our? Can we make that our next step?
How do I
Yes.
sound like why movie?
Do we know where this
Ooh.
Miriam is right now, or do we have to figure that out?
Miriam's below.
Yep. You were advised that she resides in the catacombs.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Our guide
Oh,
would probably
oh,
know where
oh.
that is.
Hmm.
Like, do we have to go talk to this person or scary being thing that lives in the catacombs? 'Cause that
I
sounds.
mean,
Lydia, you've never struck me as one to be afraid of
a little
things.
claustrophobic.
That makes sense. I don't know if I would be claustrophobic. I've never been in a really tight space.
You've gone into catacombs before.
Yeah.
Right, but
Remember,
you know,
you
When
stole
you
that
they
stole
got
a
bigger.
body.
they got bigger.
I'm going to assume that the catacombs of Candlekeep are probably actually quite extensive. It is built into a cliffside.
But still, it's just the thought of. I hate being at sea too long and not being able to see the shore even. No, that doesn't bother me. I hate being cooped up in the cabin for too long. There we go. When it's raining outside because I can't see the
Well,
ocean. I don't know, it just bothers me. Leave me alone.
I mean,
I hate elevators too.
are you saying that you'd rather spend another day poring over books?
Could
I do
do
have
that.
this very interesting account of the Great Hunt that you could read.
I'll go with you. But I won't like it.
I put my hand on Lydia's finger. My one hand can go only over that. It's okay. You just keep holding my hand and Grammy will make sure you don't get lost.
Alright.
Also, see if you can make yourself sound like some mashed potatoes or something so we can have a side dish.
Do the mashed potato. Do. That's all I know.
And Rose, I mean, they did say that possibly the catacombs, or at least going to see this Miram, could be dangerous. So you might want to bring your axe.
I never go anywhere without it, so.
And, that's why we're going to leave you, Lydia, in case something goes terribly wrong.
If it makes you feel any better, since you sold your body to that one circus, this is just you getting accompanied to the underground.
Whoa. True. I need to get my bot. Yeah. Okay.
Alright, Rose, were you there?
No.
I don't think Rose is
No,
with us.
I was not.
Well, we
does-
I
found
think
the
I've
crypt.
heard about it in passing before, but I was not there with you yet, no.
Well, you see, Lydia's not allowed to sign stuff without Murdoch around now. That's the long and short of
I think
it.
that's just a general rule of our group. Just don't sign things.
And we don't leave Artemis alone.
That does remind me, I'm going to look into that circus
Okay.
while we're here after all this is done. We're gonna try and get your body back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Rose, see if you can make the sounds of a side salad.
Oh my
My
goodness.
body belongs to the
I don't know
circus.
what that.
I passed a gold over for this single scotch and these peanuts. Can I just get them some mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
I'm going to finish my drink. Artemis, if you want me to try playing music at the book, bring it over to my room. I'm old, as other members of this party are. I'm going to go sleep because it's probably 6 o'clock. I'm sleepy.
Wheel of Fortune time.
I have to go watch Jeopardy.
Gotta try to stay awake for Jeopardy.
Oh, Alex Trebek.
Oh.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Sorry, Murdoch, you lost another one.
I lost another one! I can't have anything! If they go for Dr. Phil, what's next?
Oh, Dr. Phil. Oh, no.
Okay. I'm going to my room.
Okay.
Murdoch's
wait!
done with it. What?
I give you the book.
Okay. Thank you, dear. I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
No.
Okay. So Murdoch's heading upstairs. Anyone else have anything else they would be doing this evening?
Sharing my food with Lydia and Rose.
Okay.
Just having a general evening and
Yeah.
heading on to bed. I'll probably read more in the hunt book, see if I can glean any more bits of
Okay.
information, but not spending overly much time on it, and go to bed.
Okay, Lydia, anything for you, Rose?
No, nothing in particular.
Okay. Looks like we will just eventually wipe for the evening. Murdoch, as you go through trying to play your musical scales, spend a little bit of time, doesn't seem to... You don't notice any reaction whatsoever from the book.
There goes my one idea.
Does not seem
I
to
wish
be...
that was right. That was really cool.
And eventually, the group of you begin to wake at the next morning. as you start to hear once more, as you've heard the last couple of days, the bell ringing. Well, some of you are probably already awake, given the early hour of your bedtime. But for those who stayed up a little later, eventually you hear the bells ringing, signaling that breakfast is being prepared. Group, the day is yours. You would all remember that your guide advised you when you were prepared to just head to the Emerald Door, and they would send for your guide at that point whenever you were prepared to continue back beyond.
Are the catacombs like beyond the door then?
Unfortunately, you did not ask the Great Reader,
Crap!
so
Guess
you're
we'll
not
find out when we
100%
get
sure.
there.
I guess so.
But you would also,
Probably.
as your party mentioned, you're pretty sure your guide would be able to tell you how to get there, and your guide told you to basically ask for him at the Emerald Gate, at the Emerald Door. So
Okay.
Let's get our guide and tell him that we would like to go to the catacombs because we need to speak with Miriam.
okay.
Yep. Quick breakfast and on my way to the door.
I like sneak a napkin full of breakfast, like breads and such, and put it in my purse.
The granny food theft just. Oh, they won't notice
You're
this. I'll
coming
save it
home
for
with
later.
me.
Sweep it in the purse.
Purses are apparently just used to steal things.
You know, you put a nice, like a big gallon bag inside a purse, you can get away with a lot of stuff at a buffet. Just saying.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You ever go to a movie theater with a grandma?
True.
Eventually, the group of you arrive at the Emerald Door. Their request will send out for your guide. Takes about 10 minutes, and he comes over, still wiping a little bit of the sand out of his eyes, asleep. Oh, I'll get you an early start today. Where are we off to? What's today's plan of attack?
Well,
Take us to the catacombs.
I'm.
Catacombs.
What?
First, yes. What is in the catacombs? Besides dead people.
It's. The catacombs hold some of the oldest tomes within Candlekeep.
And
There's also, well, beyond the catacombs, there's the Echoes of Alundo, as well as the Chamber of Lost Lore.
do you see why we want to go to the catacombs, sir?
I
Are we going to tell him exactly where we want to go?
All of that other stuff sounds like very useful, but we also
Going to the catacombs, I'd want to know where the Minotaur was, so if he knows where this...
Minotaur.
we do not have a Minotaur here.
not a Minotaur.
We
Story
want
from
to
Mother
actually
Island! Like,
speak to a person instead of read a book today.
You're looking to speak with a person in the catacombs.
Miriam, I believe their name was.
I'm assuming the reader provided you this information?
Yes.
They did.
Oh, and he looks over at the person at the Emerald Door, and he proceeds to open the door. If you'll follow me, I will lead you on our way. Proceeds to walk through. As the group of you follow him, it starts heading down again a very similar path, the same, like, we'll call it the same street that he initially led you down to that first building. As he gets down along the wall and against this same wall that the Emerald Door is on, and where the road initially had turned left, he just keeps walking right at the wall. And he gets up in front of it, and you watch as he reaches in front and does something with his hand. And the wall just shimmers and vanishes. And you can see now within that new opening is a massive spiral staircase leading down. Please follow along and do stay close.
You got it.
Take Lydia's hand.
Grab it.
As a group of you proceed to enter in, a couple of moments later, you hear a slight sort of rumble. And as the group of you turn back and look up back to where you just came from, there is no longer a doorway there.
Oh boy.
And as you
Oh boy.
continue slowly down this spiraling staircase, you can see that every so often there is a small, this lightly flickering torch on the wall, giving just enough light for you to be able to see as you're spiraling down this fairly wide staircase, no railing, and there is just an open expanse down through the middle. About half an hour or so goes by of you just walking down this stairwell.
God.
And eventually you find yourselves exiting out into a very almost sort of musty scent of old standing water and books and almost like little bits of almost a fungal smell or like damp wood at points. And your guide proceeds to step over to the side as a group of you all step out. Welcome to the catacombs. And as you can see, and he starts gesturing, you can see there are points within here where you can see what look to be coffins and sarcophagus in points within the wall. But you can also see points that there are books as well as various shelves throughout this section. These are where some of the oldest tomes within Candlekeep reside. There are some flooded caves at the extreme end leading out to the sea. We strongly recommend avoiding those as there tend to be some rather odd individuals there. But if you are looking for Miriam, and he gestures off to a hallway that's sort of forks off slightly to the east from where you're standing. Just follow that hallway and Miriam will find you.
That sounds pleasant.
Right.
Anything we should know about this person before we go seeking or waiting for them to seek us out?
A bit of a talker. Is always keen for information on the goings-on in the realm. In other words, doesn't get out much.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Okay.
Come on, vamonos, everybody. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna, unless somebody else wants to, I'll take point with my direction sense and dark vision.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Okay.
Is it still light enough to see here, or should I cast a light rock?
So there are still those same, you're seeing these slightly, these little glowing blue flames at various points on the wall. So there is some light. But again, it's best way to think of it is they're sort of like street lamps on a country road, where they're just further enough from each other that there's like that 5 or 10 feet of just almost pitch black in between them.
Great. I'm gonna cast light on a rock.
Great.
So it is now much easier for those of you with and without dark vision to see. But as the group of you start wandering with Furia taking point, Furia, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
27. Natural 20.
Oh,
First
okay.
roll of the game. Well, first roll I made.
So as you're walking along, eventually you see a point where it seems to be a small set of stairs. Looks to be about 7 or 8 stairs going up a little bit towards a landing. And as you're looking at this doorway in the landing, it seems a little off to you. As you're looking at the bottom portions of the doorway, and it seems normal. As you're looking through it, even at this distance with the light spell, it's the closest torch is right within the doorway, and you're used to these sort of glowing like a bluish tone. This one is glowing green. And as you see, the top of the doorway looks like it has teeth.
I sort of stop, look at it. I look backwards at the rest of my group. Like, guys, that door has teeth.
Oh, that's not.
Teeth. And I kind of look up and. Oh. Yes, it does.
Is it supposed to?
I don't know. Have you ever seen a door with teeth before? And the torch is a different color. Should we just keep going, or?
Is this the way that we're supposed to go?
I mean, they just said that Miriam would find us.
And is this the hall that we were pointed down?
I don't think Furia would make that mistake, but you never know.
Yes, Fury has been walking straight and true.
Yeah, this is the hall we're directed towards, so.
That's your niche.
Should I throw my light rock into the room, perhaps?
That's not very nice.
I'm just going to say, passing through a doorway that has teeth gives me the feeling of walking into a mouth.
I was gonna say that, so why don't I throw a rock in the room?
I'm going to
I don't care how
I
not
don't
nice
think
it
I
is.
would like somebody throwing a rock in my mouth, if that's what it is.
Well,
take
As
my
you
axes
say that,
off my
Murdoch, you
back.
start to hear a laugh.
Okay, everyone is talking at the same time. Hold on. Maddie, what were you saying?
Well, I guess now that this door appears to be laughing, I'm gonna stop for a second, but I was going to the hilt of my axe through the doorway to see if anything were to happen,
But you're not going to do that because now the door is laughing.
yeah, now that I hear this laughter, I'm gonna hold off on doing that for a second, at least.
Okay, and Lydia was going to throw a shiny rock stone into the mouth. Does it laughing change that?
would Lydia react in guttural fear and throw a rock at the source of the loud laughter?
I would say yes.
I would say yes too, and squeal like a little girl.
Then you take it away since you're gonna.
I am sorry, party, but I would go. The door has teeth and it's laughing at us. I would throw the rock at it and run behind Granny.
And I look over at this really short person in front of a really tall
I hate closed spaces.
Reminder that Sarah is 2 feet tall.
You ever hide behind like a 6-year-old.
I see. Yeah. A
Lydia, go
garden
ahead and
gnome.
roll a dexterity
that's me.
attack.
Oh, dexterity.
Yep,
Okay.
d20 plus.
Oh
Plus your
god,
dex
that's
mod.
gonna hit. Cause that's like, okay, I rolled the 18 plus nothing, so it's 18.
Okay. So, as you haul off and look up at where you're seeing these teeth and just peg the rock, you actually hit right where you're seeing one of these teeth, and your bing as it hits, it seems to pass through the tooth, hit the stone on the wall, and bounce back a couple of feet towards you, landing on the ground.
Okay.
And as that happens, you watch a massive spectral green head drift out of the doorway towards you. It is a very draconic looking head. As it looks out at towards the group of you. I do apologize, but it has been so long since visitors come down. It's rather enjoyable to play with them.
Right.
I am assuming that means you must be Mira.
Oh yes,
It's
but
a
of
mimic.
course.
I've heard of mimics. It's a mimic. No, it's a dragon. I'm sure. Okay.
Don't ask me.
Whatever it is, it's corporeal. Hello, Miram.
Hello, Miriam. Ma'am.
Good morrow. Welcome to my catacombs.
They are quite, you know,
Deep.
nice and deep and cavernous. We were hoping to speak with you. We have some questions, and we need someone who has not approximately. We needed someone who probably has the most knowledge in all of Candlekeep, so here we are.
I probably do know the most. Yeah, I've been here about the longest. Since it trapped me here, but that's besides the point. Before you go down that road, please tell me what news from the world do you bring? What are the goings on?
I hold up the napkin bundle of food. Breakfast at the lodge was croissants.
This is
I quite mean
Granny.
outside of Candlekeep. I can journey within these walls, but
Let's see, what's been going on?
the lack of
We-
teeth, you know.
We took a little bit of a stint away from the
Yeah.
Sword Coast, so as far as super recent, I'm
oh,
not sure.
I know. Succumber got temporarily taken over by, what was it now?
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblins. They took control of the town and started taking all of the people's gold for themselves, and the people of the town didn't even know.
Oh, that's more intelligent than they typically are. But you said you took a trip from the Sword Coast. Where did you go? You must have had something interesting.
We went to a different world. Not a plane. Well, sort of like a plane, I suppose, but a different world. A world known as Kryn.
Interesting. And how did you travel between the worlds? Through the grey?
I mean, it was grey for a bit.
It was pretty grey.
A
There
fog?
was fog, and we wandered through the fog, and then we were in the other world.
There were dragons with, oh gosh, a rider and
Oh, that's
It was a very similar world, and at the same time very different.
so I can think of no reason to allow to one of your ilk to ride me, but I suppose to each their own.
Oh, well, You don't want to know how they deal with the Dragonborn there, or the Draconians. They very bad, and they do things like when they die, they explode.
Or turn into stone.
Or turn into statues. I didn't really know if it was random or based on their scale color or what, but I got a lot of looks there.
And apparently, there are ones that look like this. I point to Sarah. They're not actually halflings. They're something else, and nobody likes them.
Looks can be deceiving.
Apparently, they're very thievy, like all of them, habitually.
And the gnomes
your small
have
friend
names
is
that
not.
take up entire books?
And a mountain that's hollow sort of inside, and they use catapults to get from floor to floor.
Oh, well, that just sounds wonderful.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And then you just jump down and they catch you in a net.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Or
Hopefully.
if the net doesn't work, they have an emergency button that they push, and it fills the entire floor with wasn't it like those giant? It was giant sponges, right?
Giant sponges, and yeah.
Still worth
Murdoch
it,
here
either way.
is sounding a lot more excited about the prospect than she was when she was actually there. But it was a lot of fun.
It had litigation written all over it. Fantasy OSHA would be very upset.
You can see a smile sort of playing on the spectral muzzle. Oh, that is just wonderful to hear. So you came here looking for something. What brings you down to my area? Said you're looking for somebody with information.
We came to Candlekeep seeking something, and we are having a bit of trouble. If I'm being entirely honest. We're seeking something simply known as a key. A key of knowledge, we believe. Something that would lead to great secrets and great magical power of that sort of nature, but it is neither physical nor is it within a book. And in Candlekeep, that does rule out the majority of things. But we know that it's here. We don't know how long it's been. But we know it's here because we've been told by a man known as the Master of Past and Present.
Go ahead and make a... we'll call this a persuasion check.
May I assist? I know Murdoch is good at it, but may I assist?
Certainly.
I'm nodding along, and
And you were helping out with the information as well, so yeah, I'll say Murdoch's got advantage on this.
You know, she's really good at it, thank God, because I rolled a 2 and a 10. So it's a 21. But gosh, I wish I could roll better. Because that really is like the worst I can do.
Okay, so as you're sort of going through this information, a couple of moments goes by and Miriam looks out at the group of you. And this key that you're seeking, this key of knowledge, you say, do you know who the architect is? Who created it?
I sort of give a look over at Murdoch and look back. Somebody called the Dark Queen.
And have you not thought of asking the architect.
I look at Artemis.
Look at Artemis.
I mean, it wasn't for sure the Dark Queen, but it wasn't. Oh boy, it might have been, huh? I mean, sort of.
Your answer is no. We had a chance, but that question did not get answered. Or asked. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have.
It was a limited questioning session.
A limited questioning session, you say?
Spells. They fickle like that.
What, does that sound familiar to you?
It sounds very much like my... Well, I shouldn't refer to it as mine, but I am the keeper of it for all purposes. It sounds very similar to the Chamber of Lost Lore.
We've heard about that briefly.
Yes, it is a... Well, it is primarily used by higher-ranking members of the Avowed. They can spend some time meditating within the chambers in silence. And it provides the opportunity to commune with other realms. Anyone with a modicum of intelligence is able to do so. You know, the risks are similar to those experienced by arcane practitioners when they do it using their own written spell work. If your mind is not strong enough, you can fracture. And such fractures can be difficult to put back together.
Wonderful. Love that.
That sounds good a lead as any right now.
Well, the question is how to ask the question to get an answer that we want.
What about, because it's not physical, if we're thinking that it's a passphrase or something like that, and we ask the architect, what if we simply ask to be given the key?
Or, more directly, where is the key?
What is the key?
It's hard when you only think you're only going to get a simple answer, though.
Where in Candlekeep is the key? Describe the key. Give me the key.
I'll look back to Miriam and say, well, yes, you will ask the architect if we encounter them, but didn't seem like you fully answered us. Do you know what the key is or where the key is that we're looking for?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Go, Rose. Catch this ghost dragon.
12.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so you haven't really been involved in the conversation much, Rose. You've been watching, though. You would, as you've asked that question, And looking at this spectral head, it's so strange. It's weird for you because you can see through the head. It looks like staring through like a greenish fog almost. But you would recognize that when I believe it was Furia who mentioned the Dark Queen, you could see that there was a momentary widening of the eyes.
Okay.
Something about that seems to have caused a reaction. As you pose your next question, though, Ren sort of looks back over at you. Well, it is rather difficult to say, as that I am not the one who created the key.
Okay.
And if you are being told it is not physical but is here, then it's difficult to put one's finger on, if you will.
What would you think it is if it's something that is not physical but is here?
If it's not physically here, one would say someone like myself, as I am here, but am not physical, so to speak.
Oh.
Although, well, let's just say I can be physical enough when needed, or summoned.
Understood. So, you think it not out of the realm of possibility that what we seek is an item, but that it is more ethereal?
It could be ethereal, it could be information. Any number of things that one would find here with that is non-physical. I mean, the conversation we're having now is happening here.
Very true. So, in that case, you've done well. You've done well to answer our questions, and for that I thank you for your aid. It seems like perhaps maybe we should go to the Chamber of Lost Lore.
If you would care to, it is... if you walk through the doorway with the teeth, it will be it's a little ways down. You will pass through the echoes of Alundo, and then you will find yourselves in the Chamber of Lost Lore.
In exchange for your aid, is there anything that you want? Do you just simply want more information of the world outside, if we ever get the chance?
Oh, it is any information one can provide of the outside realm is appreciated, as it do not get out much. Or at all.
Are you all right with being the receiving end of a sending spell?
But of course.
And in exchange for more stories, perhaps maybe would you be all right as being called upon for more knowledge via such a spell?
If I have it, I will gladly provide, so long as it does not violate, shall we say, the terms of my agreement.
I am very much so happy to abide by any pre-existing agreements. So then I will make such an accord with you. If I have the time and if I have stories, I will send them to you. And perhaps, if I require some knowledge and I'm not able to make my way to Candlekeep, I will call on you.
Then we have an accord.
Little bow. Don't know if I can get it in writing from you.
Quite a bit difficult.
This one time I will excuse.
Any other questions? And I sort of, whisper over in Murdoch's direction. Are we sure that that person is not the key themselves? Should we try something?
What do you think what do you want to try?
I don't know.
Um, just in case maybe you know something that you don't know that you know, we have the thing that the key is supposed to unlock.
Okay,
Would you like to take a look at it?
if you'd like me to.
Oh, I think
I mean, just cover all our bases, you know?
where you're going with that.
Well, I still have the book,
Yeah.
so I will. There's this tome. Possibly, maybe the readers have already expressed this to you. The introduction can be read. The rest, as I kind of like open it and just sort of like make the pages like flip from one side to the other, completely incomprehensible.
You flip
At
through
least
and looks at a little bit in your hand, and it seems I have the same limitations you do. It's that initial portion, as you say, is legible. Rizar has brought this down to me before, and was unable to make hide nor hair of it, although it seems I was able to withstand the confusion it seems to push upon better than he was. Not surprising, he's a young one.
Damn, I bet she's probably even been able to look at it with like true sight or something. Alright.
Murdoch, can I have my book back?
Oh, it's your book.
Can I have
Temporarily,
the book
but
back?
yes.
I'm teasing Artemis, yes, of course, here. You're going to your backpack is going to have more books than it is food in the near future, if it doesn't already.
Exactly.
Backpack where you keep your applesauce. Okay.
Okay. So eventually, party starts heading down the direction that Miriam provided to you, and that is where we're going to take our break this evening. So we're a little more than halfway through. So we'll be back in just a few moments, folks. Don't go anywhere, as our party has met Miriam, the sentinel worm of Candlekeep, and has been granted access to the Chamber of Lost Lore. So we'll be back in just a few as we top off our drinks and whatnot. So don't go anywhere, and let's see what the party does next. back, everyone. Thank you for bearing with us during our brief break. Our party has made their way down into the catacombs underneath Candlekeep. They have spoken with this strange spectral head of Miram, the sentinel worm of Candlekeep. And per their conversation, Miram has agreed to pass them through to an area known as the Chamber of Lost Lore, where Miram has advised them anyone with a modicum of intelligence can spend some time meditating and be able to communicate with beings from other planes. With that being said, we jump back in as our party is wandering down this pathway, eventually passing through a room that just has innumerable little, looks to be almost shelves or little cubbies in the walls, containing all these different little gemstones. Each glowing with a slight glimmer of a bluish, purplish, iridescent sort of glow as you're walking through the room. And a little further on, you come to a very rough-hewn circular chamber, lit by numerous small bluish flames throughout the room. Sitting on the floor in the near the middle of the room are a couple of very rudimentary, looks like meditation mats. It seems you have found your way to the end of the path as Miram has advised you, and you find yourselves within the chamber.
All right.
Should I do the thing then? I guess. I've never meditated before.
Well, you seem like the one most apt for it, just because of your intelligence.
And you have the book, which seemed to help you get in touch with the right person last time. I mean, I think it was the right person, considering what they said.
Okay.
I
Wait,
mean,
before I do, I don't, should I just straight up ask? Where is the key? What is the key?
I mean, we tried sort of beating around the bush, or I mean, that's what it sounds like you were asking for.
Maybe it's time to just be direct.
I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen if you just ask a question?
Asking the question, probably nothing, but doing this thing seemed like if you weren't strong enough, you could just break. I mean,
Oh,
you know, what happened to Sarah earlier with the orb and everything. I mean, it wasn't your fault.
I suppose they'll like shuffle over to one of the mats and like put their stuff down.
Do you want some music to maybe help you relax?
No, I think that would give me performance anxiety.
All right, let's think of some questions. Where is the dark? Be exact but direct. Where is the Dark Queen's key?
What
Where
is
the
the dark?
Where is the
Queen?
specific location?
Mm.
And then what was yours?
What is the Dark Queen's key?
That would help too. Yes. What is it?
Should we concern ourselves about where we're finding the next one yet, or
We don't even know if we need to get the next one.
I suppose.
I think we just get there when we need to, because if we're talking to the Dark Queen, we'll be looking for somebody else's key, and they might not know.
I might not like that.
If we have the questions for it, I suppose there's nothing wrong with saying, "Give me the key." That's a command. That's not a question. Can you give me the key?
Yeah, I don't want to be commanding to something that may or may not be called the Dark Queen.
I'm wondering, do we get a limited number of questions? Because Miriam seemed to say something along the lines of that. They seem to recognize a limited line of questioning.
I would have a feeling the more you asked, the longer you spent talking to this person from another plane, the more likely it would be that you would go crazy.
Alright, we'll see if we can get it in one then.
So I guess ask first is something about just getting the key. And if they can't give you the key directly, then ask where it is, or what does it look like, or what is it?
What is it, yes? Okay.
You can do this. You've done this.
Sit down and kind of like...
You did this yesterday, or something similar to it.
Okay, so as Artemis gets settled to start their meditation, what would the rest of you be doing in the hour that Art is meditating? Lydia, if you're talking, you're muted.
Alright, yeah, try to meditate with Art, actually.
Oh, okay.
Keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, I would be keeping an eye out and reading that book, if for nothing else, just something to do.
Yeah, if I see Murdoch is not really too engaged with something, I'll ask if we could have a little reading session.
Of course. Yeah. And I will, the only thing I'm going to be doing is giving, because my Bardic Inspiration only lasts 10 minutes, probably while reading, I'm just going to try and put out that very nice calm energy, and as that magic starts to form, I'm going to sort of, as I've built it up over this time, direct it at Art and give her some Bardic Inspiration. Give them some Bardic Inspiration.
And Sarah, what about you?
I said I was just keeping an eye on Art and Lydia. More so Art, just making sure if anything changes, if anything looks possessy or
Okay.
dying-y.
So go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh. That's a 7!
Okay. So, as time goes by, a little faster for some of you. So maybe like Furia, Murdoch, and Rose. Time seems to be going very quick for the three of you as you're all involved in reading and you're doing other things. Sarah, this is the longest hour of your life. As you're just trying to focus on... Keep looking over at Art and then sort of... trying to refocus, and It's dug in a squirrel. Goes around, whoop, and then back over. But eventually the hour manages to pass. And Artemis and Lydia, you both have the ability to cast Contact Other Plane for the next 24 hours.
Wow.
Well, okay. Wow. Yeah.
So let me rephrase it. You can cast it once within the next 24 hours.
Okay.
It's not a hotline.
You would have to meditate again to try it if you wanted to do it again.
Did Rose want to
Wait,
read something
okay.
specific?
Fine.
Yeah, it would be my like martial arts book that I got from Motif, yeah.
Yes. Then I did read that with you.
Yeah. Rose, go ahead and make an intelligence check with advantage.
Okay.
I do know a little bit of martial stuff, so I might be able to like do some
Oh, nice.
with you.
That is a nat 20. Good thing I had advantage because my first roll was a 3.
Hey!
Okay. So mark down that is another success.
Nice.
You definitely feel like you are starting to get a better grasp of this with Murdoch's help.
These are some pretty good techniques.
On
Yeah.
contact with the plane, real quick. If I could.
Oh, okay.
Would it be a ritual 1 minute cast or would it be instant cast?
Well, a ritual cast would be 11 minutes. So this is
Oh,
casting
okay,
it just like
sorry.
the spell. It would be a 1 minute cast.
Okay. Alright. Cool. Thank you.
So, Lydia, you said you're trying to cast Contact Other Plane?
No, I just had a question about it.
Oh, okay. Art, what about you?
I'm gonna do the thing.
Okay.
Yep.
So a nice part with this is you have gotten the ability to cast it. There is no roll required to cast the spell itself. I do need you to make an intelligence saving throw, though.
And I gave you Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
I'll take the Bardic Inspiration. It's
Okay.
a D4 or 6.
I believe it's a D8.
Yeah, I think it's a D8.
Never mind.
I hope it's not a D5. It's hard to lay. It's like...
8. It's an 8.
Okay. So altogether, 19.
Okay, you managed to hold on to your sanity once more. And again, for those of you watching Artemis as they are casting this spell, you see that somewhat familiar cloudy gray, almost like a stormy sky glaze over their eyes. And Artemis, once more, you start to feel this presence around you.
Hey demons, it's me, ya boy. I want to know, what exactly is the key? Is it a passcode? Or a phrase? Or...
So your first question is you want to know exactly what the key is.
Yeah.
Answers with one word. Okay, let's. I have to actually look up a word for this. Okay, eventually you get a response back. And the single word you receive back is transaction. Four remaining. Holy mother of bits. Thank you very much, Discord 696 for the 3,000 bits.
Oh my god.
Holy heck.
Well, thank you.
That's a bit of bits. Thank you.
The fairy mother might have some competition now.
I mean, what do you mean competition? Fairy Bitmother just got thrown to the side of the road.
Whoa!
Well, okay.
We can't hear
You're-
the answers you've gotten, but
Right, but I'd say you guys were talking about them before. If player needs help
Yes,
remembering the discussion.
It was, what is it? Can you give it to me?
Yeah, no, I'm trying
Um,
to figure out if, like...
Where exactly is it? I mean, you can still ask them, even though your first answer wasn't
That's what I think
what
I'm
you
gonna-
expected.
I mean, as a transaction, you could also adapt and be like, you know, if it's a transaction,
Currency?
what do I have
Yeah,
to
are you
give?
Just paying for.
What do I
What
have
do
to
you
give?
require?
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Is it soul? It's probably soul.
I hope it's not.
If it's a
What?
soul, then we're abandoning this quest because no one is allowed to do that.
What is needed for this transaction?
Your credit card number, the expiration date, and those three sexy numbers on the back.
Social insurance.
Social security number, name of your mother's maiden name.
Mother's maiden name, the street you grew up on, your first pet. What was your first car?
ASL.
The response you get is benefaction.
Who is this person, man? I just want to talk. Like, come on.
They're
boy.
limited to one-word answers.
Ugh. Benefaction.
Like
A
benefactor?
benefactor?
Like,
But
I
we
think
have a
it-
benefactor.
Well, you would have to become their benefactor, is what I would
Maybe.
think.
Are they asking to make a warlock pact? I hope not.
I mean, that'd be terrible.
Art,
Yeah, I forgot.
Art, do me a favor, make an intelligence check.
I'm good at those. Usually.
Matthew's like, I've spent 3 weeks on this. They're all not getting it. I'm done.
Uh, is this against magic?
It's not a saving throw, it's just an intelligence check.
It's... Oh, right. I forgot that I'm kind of smart. 14.
Benefaction means a good deed.
We're just thinking too D&D about it, that's all.
We are being to do a good deed for it?
Do we have to free her soul? The dragon's soul?
I would argue that's not a good deed in the grand scheme of things, but...
To her!
I'm trying to free your mind.
I'm free!
Who does this good deed have to be done for? Like, does it have to be in their presence, or they'll just know that it has been done?
3 questions left.
Bro. I mean, we're getting
You
there.
could just ask what kind of benefaction. Or what does it look like? Or who are we doing it to?
Yeah.
I'll do it. Just tell me how.
Like, who needs to
is-
witness it?
Who is this good deed for?
You.
Wow. Okay.
Was that the third question?
That was the third, you've got 2 left.
Can I just ask?
Just
what
ask?
me-
Just straight up ask?
Like me specifically?
No,
Maybe,
like what is the good action?
Okay. Oh, what is this good deed that I am doing?
A couple of moments goes by. You actually get a phrase. Receiving the key.
I hate this.
Bro! I'm so upset.
Can I just ask for it? Can I just ask for the key?
Say please.
I had a question in mind, but that last answer, like, threw me off course.
Ask for the key. Like we always planned. You know, that was one of the first things we wanted to ask.
Will you give us the key, maybe?
Will
Yeah.
you please? Will you please?
Not can, because it'll just be like, yes, I can.
Yeah.
May I?
Yes. Mother, may I?
May I please have the key
Dark
to
Queen,
your
may
knowledge?
I?
May you please give me the key, please? Please, key? Key?
May I have the key?
You receive an immediate response. Yes.
You just had to ask nicely!
Usually that doesn't. Oh, there's catches, so you can maybe understand my apprehension. Great been talking to you. What?
Okay.
Artemis, please make a wisdom, an intelligence saving throw for me.
Heck.
This would be considered magic, so you do have advantage on it.
13.
Okay. As those of you watching, as Artemis's eyes have been sort of clouded over, you notice there is a trickle of blood starting to run out of one of Artemis's nostrils.
I immediately yell for Murdoch.
I rolled really well on that. Artemis, you take 17 points of psychic damage.
God.
As all of a sudden, as you ask this question and you hear the yes, you feel as though somebody has ripped your skull open and is just pouring information directly into your mind.
Ooh. Feels
That-
good.
After a couple of moments, those of you as you're seeing this in Murdoch, as you can hear Sarah calling for you. What of the rest are you doing as you're starting to hear this?
I guess I'm in the room still, so I'd be running over to Art and trying to cast, Cure Wounds or something. And medicine check? See
Yeah,
if
I would be looking up and readying some sort of healing spell as
Yeah.
blood is seemingly
Okay.
pouring.
So
But I'm going to wait until Art seems to be still in it somehow, and I don't want to disrupt it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since I was sitting beside Murdoch and her name was called, I would kind of like snap my head and look up in that direction. But do I see like what's happening to Art from where I am, or this is just like a split second, I guess?
It's happening fairly quickly. Murdoch, how far, would you have wandered a distance away with Rose, or?
No, I don't think that reading was in any way private. I think we were all just sort of sitting in the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so you would both be able to see as Murdoch's been called out and the two of you turn to look towards Sarah. You would both be able to see, rather pronounced, this sort of trickle of red coming down out of Art's nose.
I'm gonna come over. Does it look like the spell is still going on?
As you're walking over and you see Lydia's coming over as well, everyone's sort of clustering, and you can see this blood starting to drip. You do see the Art's eyes are still clouded over, but very similarly to before, you can see the clouds are starting to clear within Artemis's eyes.
Hold on.
And then eventually it vanishes and you find yourself looking back into Art's face and Art's eyes. Art, you can definitely feel the moisture and the liquid on your upper lip. And your head is pounding at the moment.
Happened? Are you all right?
Do you need healing?
I don't feel alright. I suppose I'm back.
I mean, you didn't look all right for a second there. Are you sure?
I think I got it.
You got it.
Got what?
The key?
So it is
What?
a word or a spell or...
I don't quite know yet. My head is in pain.
I'll put my hand lightly on Art's shoulder and cast a Cure Wounds.
I hand Aramis a croissant. Eat something, dearie. It'll help.
I don't want to throw up.
Okay.
I'm going to, they're gonna scooch kind of over to their bag and kind of like grab the book
Okay.
and
12
kind
points
of.
of healing, by the way.
Oh dang! Wow!
I rolled really good, okay?
Feel wonderful! Wow! Yeah, I'll grab the book and I'll open it. Kind of glancing at that little informational bit that is decipherable for a moment. And
Still looks the
then,
same.
I guess flip to the rest of the page, or like the first page that was blank.
Okay. So as you flip over to that first the first page, it sort of made your head feel a little dizzy. And as you're looking at it for a couple of moments, you can actually read everything on the page. And as you're looking at it and scanning through, it is actually what's the word I'm looking for? Looks to be a somewhat rudimentary spell that you're looking at. It is a level 1 spell, Ray of Sickness.
It is a spell.
Okay.
So in the end, you really do.
I'm looking over Art's shoulder, and it's still just fuzziness, and I don't want to look at this anymore.
Yeah, after a couple of moments, it's still, you have that same sort of sensation of just like reading in the car.
Right. Art, you can read this? It's still terrible for me.
I mean, the spell's not exactly the best.
No, but you can see what it says.
Yes, it's a
You
spell.
have the key.
That's it, right then.
Well, for this page.
Yeah.
What else is in here? Is there something, like, good?
I'll flip through the next couple pages.
Okay, roll 2d20 for me and add them together.
That's a weird call.
Thank you. Now I roll great. Okay. 27.
Oh, okay. So, let's see here. That'll put us about here. Okay. As you're flipping through, and again, you're just real quick sort of scan as you're going, and you can see that there are other spells within here. The next page you stop at, though, references a spell. I believe it's a little above you. You guys can cast up to 4th level, right?
Yep.
So as you're looking at, you can sort of make it out. You know it's a little above your skill level currently, but is a spell that speaks to being able to bind a creature to the plane that they are currently on. For mechanical names, it is planar binding.
Alright. Looks like more spells. I guess I'll flip a few more pages.
Oh, okay. So as you're flipping a little further through it, You do find a section near the end of the book. As you're flipping through there, you can tell that there are a ton of other spells within this book. But it also gives a little bit of information on the author and methods that he has utilized to prolong his life. By drawing life from others.
Okay.
I mean, it is the spell. It is the Dark Queen. They're probably not nice spells.
Yeah.
Artemis, I'm sure that you are very excited to continue to read through the book and probably copy spells over. Do you think maybe we could do it not deep down in the catacombs?
Right.
I mean, for Lydia's sake, you know, the claustrophobia and everything.
Get into me.
I hand Lydia a croissant. Here you go.
Thanks.
How many of those did you take?
7.
That's such a specific number that you had immediately.
Yes, sure. Yeah, of course.
Perhaps also let the reader know what we've discovered. Or do you want to do that
Yeah.
after?
I'll do that after I finish reading everything.
See, the problem is the spells in there you can't use all yet. So if we leave, we have to leave them behind if the reader wants them back.
I mean, can you copy them down now? Even if you can't use them just yet? I don't really know how these spells work.
I mean, I don't use pencil and paper to do spells.
Copying them takes time too. And supplies. And
I mean, we have time, but
Copying. It just
And
have to be
maybe-
careful that it's not breaking the rules of Candlekeep.
yeah, that too. Crap. Okay.
Well, if Artemis is the only one that can read it, technically it's not breaking any rules.
the other question is, do we tell the reader, or do you tell the reader how you managed to do it? I mean, you did something, obviously.
I guess.
And if you give them the key, maybe they'd be more inclined to tell you about, or let you
Can
you
I at
know,
least
I don't
just
know,
kind of look through it
assist
and
you.
read what is not spells and see if I can't glean any more information that way before we deal with spells and things? Wow, I can't believe I'm saying that.
If you think it's all right, I mean, somebody that hid all of their magic spells in a very hard to get through spell code of sorts. I mean, there must be some powerful stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I want to. We'll get out of here. I'll read everything that's not to do with spells, if I can, and then we'll deal with the reader and ask nicely if he can let me know what else is in there. Yeah.
All right.
Well, yes.
Well, make
Look
sure
it
you're
up.
reading around us in case something pops out.
Sounds good. They'll like gently close the book and like tuck it away back in their bag.
Okay. Then heading back out.
I guess so.
We have the key.
Well, one of us is now the key.
Yes.
And it takes you a little while to sort of trace your steps back past where you would run into Miriam, who is no longer there. And eventually back to where you left your guide, who is now somewhat dozing. Just sort of sitting leaning up against the wall. Just
It has been an hour or two.
Yeah.
Should we just go to the reader?
We just had this conversation.
I know, I'm second guessing myself.
Should we wake up our guide? I thought that's what you meant.
We don't want to get lost back here.
Why don't we
Yes.
just leave the behind the scenes area and do what we just discussed?
Okay.
I shake
Unless
our
you're
guard.
not.
oh, you're back. You're back.
Yes.
We're back.
So we're heading back to the land of the living?
Haha. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He starts to lead you back up, and as he starts to lead you back up the stairs, so it turns back to the group of you. So is Miriam any assistance to you?
You know, I think she was. Very interesting, person.
What can we say? We have the best pets here.
Don't let her hear you say that.
Did they not tell you why she's in the situation she's in?
No, not really.
She attacked Candlekeep a long ways back. Proceeded to murder a rather large number of sages and avowed. Archmage at the time proceeded to entrap her here to serve out her sentence. Unfortunately for her, that Archmage met a rather unfortunate end before her sentence was served, and no one has been able to break the enchantment that was placed on her. As her body decayed and rotted, eventually dying, her spirit is still trapped here and will be until the end of days.
Wow,
That makes a
that's a very
wonderful
powerful
little
spell.
thing for the what is his bleeding name? If anyone should happen to attack, the first reader is able to summon Miriam to deal with them, and as much as she enjoys talking, when someone's holding her leash, is a rather vicious animal.
I see.
Eventually, as it takes you guys probably closer to about 45 minutes to get back up to where you were, as it seems going upstairs is always harder than going down. But eventually you get back up, and again, he presses a couple of things on the wall, and the wall seems to almost melt to nothing. Leads you back through, and as the six of you step out, you hear again that familiar sound as the door closes back up. So, do we have other books you need to look for today, or is it back out to the hearth and resting for the remainder of the day? I know it's still fairly early. It's only been a few hours, but...
Should we go to the hearth, or should we go back to our rooms for a bit, or...
Why don't we go back to the hearth? We'll have like a light lunch. I will send a spell over to the Great Reader. I'm sure he won't be able to meet with us immediately anyway.
Sounds good.
Unless he comes running.
It'll be interesting to see, but okay.
Who knows with all this magic stuff?
It is a lot of magic stuff.
Take everyone over to the hearth.
Okay, so easy enough. You arrive back at the hearth. Food is provided as those of you start requesting your light meals and beverages. Rose, anything in
Probably going to-
specific? Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was just going to say that I continue to see if I can flip through the book a little bit while I'm munching on something.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check as you're flipping through this.
Ooh. 19.
Okay. So as you're sort of flipping through these various different pages and sort of skipping between the spells that are within it and some of the notes and other things that that this wizard has included in their book, you start getting you're starting to get this sort of, I guess I'll phrase it, this sort of picture is starting to form in your mind. As different bits of information in little blurbs and notes and paragraphs here and there, as you're looking through it, seems to be almost like a coded missive that seems to be almost providing instructions to obtain that effect of that sort of way of extending one's existence. You would all with a roll that high, you would also realize that it is incomplete. It looks like this individual may have additional spell books or other locations where there's additional information, should you attempt to follow said ritual. With a little bit of time, it would probably take you about an hour, potentially two, to read through that last section at the end of the book to really get a good grasp of what this effect really is.
Right.
What would the rest of you be doing as food's being brought down?
I'd like to wipe the blood off of Artemis's face.
There we go, dearie. There we go. There we go.
Those really old sort of potpourri smelling grandma napkins out of the purse where it's just like, oh, it's too much perfume.
It's somehow dry but incredibly soaked in the scent.
Croissant crumbs.
I'm gonna send a message to the Great Reader.
Oh, okay.
Just very simply says, we found what we're looking for. Our wizard now has the key and can read the book. Do with that information as you will, Great Reader.
You get a response back after a few moments. That is wonderful. Bring your wizard to my office. First bell in the morning.
I put down my little wine glass, my little lunch wine. Artemis, the Great Reader would like to meet with you, but not today. Tomorrow at the first bell. At his office where we've gone to.
Okay. Sure.
You are now able to read a book that they've been trying to decode for quite some time.
No, yes, I'm fine with that. Do you think it'd be okay if, like, a couple of you came along, though? I'm rather keen on the rule of...
We are not leaving.
It's a rule. We're not leaving you alone.
It's going to have to be okay.
Second rule.
Okay.
The first is she just kind of trails off.
Rule number 1. Always be sexy. Rule number 2. Never leave the wizard behind. Rule
That
number
jumps
three-
around
Hello.
quite a bit.
And no
I'm
signing
way
things
ahead of
without
you
a...
on.
Rule number 3. Never sign anything.
Right. Ooh.
But yeah,
Art,
so many
you
other
know,
things.
if you tell them what they want to know, maybe before you tell them, say that you want the information as well. You know, maybe help get Murdoch to help you make a deal, sort of thing.
The thing is, I can read the book, but they can't read the spells in there that I'm not powerful enough
Right,
to...
but they're going to want to know how you did it.
Right.
And I'm saying if you tell them, maybe they'd be more likely to help you out with the book. And if not, well, then maybe, I don't know, it's up to you. It's up to you whether you want the rest of the stuff in there. I mean, I don't even know how good the spells so far that you can read are.
It jumped in difficulty quite a bit. So, I mean, might as well try.
So, Murdoch, you have been gifted advantage from chat as well. So make sure you mark that down just in case we you don't hit one. It'll roll this evening.
I'll put a custom item in my inventory that says advantage.
And a big thank you again to Discord 696 for helping Murdoch out.
Thank you.
So as everyone's eating lunch, I'm going to pan over to Lydia for a moment. Lydia, what would your plan be during lunch?
I would try to slink away and cast a spell.
So you're going to try to sneak away to cast your spell?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Oh dear. Two fives.
Huh?
2 5s.
Okay. I don't think there's anyone who has a passive that low. So all of you notice Lydia sort of slinking off a little bit.
Yay, armor class.
I just sort of turn around and look at you.
Hi, I'm used to being sneaky and dexterous, but I'm in chain now.
Do you not want to have lunch? You're normally all about
actually-
lunch.
This bread is really good.
I had so many croissants this morning, I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, but this is like the brown bread from Outback Steakhouse. It's got the really good butter on it.
What's an
What?
outback?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I go there all the time. Senior discount and all that.
It's in Baldur's Gate.
The-
Is that in another
Blue
plane
bag.
somewhere?
No, just Baldur's Gate. I love going to Outback.
The Outback Steakhouse plane.
Just like Australia.
The bread never
As
runs
far
out.
as the eye
I
can
go-
see.
The Olive Garden plane.
Oh.
Anyways,
Okay,
that's
so
alright.
Lydia, you feeling alright?
I'm feeling fine. Just wanted to know what to do with the spell I've got in my head too now, so I was gonna go ask a bunch of questions to someone I don't know, and thought that might be a good thing to do. You know. Just
Without telling us where you're going, and
I have privacy issues apparently, and need to do stuff by myself.
well, at least let us know that you're going to do that somewhere else, so that if we don't see you for a while, we know where to look for you first.
Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask whoever I'm contacting?
No, but if you're going to go do what Artemis just did, and Artemis just came out of whatever that was bleeding from the nose, you still got a little. I don't think you should go on your own, Lydia.
I can heal myself. It's okay. I got the.
All right, where are you going to go do the spell?
In the room.
All right. If you don't come back for a while, we're gonna come looking for you. Make sure you're all right.
Tommy might be crying in a corner. We'll find out.
Okay. So Lydia, you're heading up to your room and casting your spell?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go down and manage to get back up to your room. Sit yourself down on the bed. You have no problem casting the spell.
Okay.
I need you to make an intelligence saving throw for me.
Big money. Alright, I'll take that. Modifier intelligence. No! Great. 15.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. What was that?
15?
You sound far away for some reason.
1-5.
Oh, 1
15.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
I hope that's
check
enough. That's what I
here.
rolled on the die. No modifier.
Okay, and a 15 is exactly what you needed.
Oh dear, that was. Whew. Huh. Let me come down from that for a second. Alright, so do I know if I'm reaching out to the same person Art is, or is it someone different?
You wouldn't know personally, as Art is still not 100% certain who they spoke with.
True. Lydia's gonna be Lydia and be like, hello out there, can you hear me?
You get a response back, yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Who am I talking to? Do I have the pleasure of talking to today with, by chance?
Okay, let's... Give me a second here. I can... Okay. So a couple minutes goes by, and you get a response back. And it's a strange sort of... I don't really know how to word... what languages do you speak?
Giant, Elvish, and Common.
I'm sorry, Giant, Elvish, and Common?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a strange sort of sound, but it doesn't... You're not able to really interpret it. You get the sensation that this entity has just provided you their name, but it's in a dialect that you don't currently understand.
Yes, pleasure to meet you. I've heard of you. So, do you know where I'm from? The, the plane. Because you're from another plane, maybe. Maybe I'm from another plane, and I don't really know who to ask.
You get a response. Yes.
Can you tell me where that'd be from? Oh, shit, on a shingle. Lydia, me.
A couple moments goes by, you get a response. Yes.
Where am I from?
Your one-word response. Bruh.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oh man.
Yep.
That's a 17. Woo! Feeling persuasive today.
Okay.
Probably not enough to like do this extraplanar entity, but that's fine.
Let me take a look here so I can make sure I'm giving you the right information. Okay. Oops. Really? Okay. And you do get a response back. And the response that is provided to you is Grandfather Oak.
You're a tree.
I'm an ant.
Or a Pokemon rival.
Yeah.
Or the Feywild.
I have one question left.
I think that
Wait,
was it.
no.
Yeah, that was 5.
Okay. Well, nice to talk to you too.
Between the can you hear me and can you tell me where I'm from?
Yeah. Alright. Well,
Lydia.
I'll go down and just kind of join the others and ask for a double.
Okay. And that's just how you ask her? You're just asking the bartender for a double?
Yep.
Okay. Eventually, bartender comes over and brings you over a rather hefty-looking drink. Sets it down for you. And... just be careful there, okay?
Got I take a smell and a dainty sip, like Graham taught me. And what's it taste like?
Okay, so as you're looking at this, this beverage has just been set down in front of you. See, it is
Oh my gosh.
a very sort of dark green bubbling liquid.
Dark green bubbly.
And as you start take a couple of sips of it and take a sip, as a very very sort of potent, almost acrid scent to it. As you take that first sip, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay, I at least have a plus to that. Let's see. Ha! No, that's a fail because I rolled a 3 and that wasn't good. 3.
A 3 in total?
I don't know. A 1 plus 2 equals 3.
As you take your dainty little sip, and it tastes pretty good, you take an actual full mouthful, and as you set the cup down, you drop face forward on the table. You are unconscious.
Oh, okay.
Did we see Lydia come downstairs, get a drink, and pass out at the bar after one drink?
One sip.
Yeah, there's still like
I-
a good.
Not in a tub.
I do not know how to check for poison.
I'm gonna go
I do.
over if I notice this and take a sip also.
Same.
No, bud.
That is not how you. That is literally the opposite of what I would think to do if you see someone collapse after having a sip of a drink. You don't all go. Hold on, hold
Can't
on.
be that bad. I'm doing like the rim.
Furia, go
like,
ahead and
my
make a
finger around the
Constitution
rim
save.
And like lick, like. Okay, con save.
Also, we got another 1,000 bits.
Another
17.
1,000?
I rolled.
Oh no.
So
Oh wait, I have
thank you very
advantage.
much.
Thank
I have
you.
advantage against poison. Thank God I'm a halfling. Oh my god.
No.
Sarah, what was yours?
10, and that's with advantage.
So as Sarah comes over and just is sort of like tasting it a little bit, and Furia's taking a slug out of the cup. Furia, you feel great. You actually have now 10 temporary hit points for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just guys, this is really good. I'm
As you
just
hear-
gonna like walk back over to my spot and steal the drink.
As Sarah, who had walked over and was not sitting, just collapses on the floor unconscious.
Oh no.
Are they allergic to something? Do you have the antidote for something?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just can't hope. I mean, I don't see why Lydia would collapse, but I was like, just take
Yeah.
another.
It's just one sip too, right?
Just shove a
Yeah.
good berry in their mouths.
Maybe I should go. Maybe I should go check on them. I'll take my drink and go over, check for a pulse, make a medicine check on Lydia, make sure she's still breathing, just in case.
You don't even have to roll for it. You can tell it's as you sort of get over and you get a little closer. You can see the way she sort of just landed down. She's sleeping as comfortably as one would be as you've fallen on your face, slightly snoring a little bit.
I walk back over. I just assume that Sarah is the same and sit back. They're fine.
Okay.
But at least Lily's on the bar. Sarah's just collapsed on the ground, and people are just sort of walking around her.
Left me on the floor.
Like the Family Guy fall where the one arm is over. No. Sorry.
But eventually, as the group of you are sort of starting to come down a little bit, as your friends have fallen asleep, as you are planning for the rest of the day and preparing for a somewhat important meeting for Artemis tomorrow morning with the Great Reader again. That's where we'll call an end to tonight's session. As it is just after 11 o'clock, our party is now... Some are feeling chipper, some are taking a nap. And tomorrow morning, Artemis has a very important appointment with the Great Reader. that, according to Furia and Murdoch, Artemis will not be going to alone. Thank you very much for those who have hung out with us on Discord. Discord 696. Thank you. We love you. If this, I know you said you're very new here, and we're one of your first donations. So thank you. And I see your happy Thanksgiving in the chat. So happy Thanksgiving to yourself. Definitely check out. We've got streams on most nights running about the same time, like 7 to 10 or 8 to 11. There are a lot of great streams going on right now. Definitely check out Wednesdays. They've got a couple of things going on between Wildmount and Waterdeep. Tuesday is another I'll say the other Matt because it's the other Matt who DMs, running his homebrew, his Friends Who Are Homebrew campaign. We've got Thursdays and Fridays, which are on the tail end of their streams, but definitely check them out as well. Oh wow, Discord's been hanging out with us and Lydia for a while, so definitely. Well, it is a pleasure to have you. We will be back next Monday to find out what happens. So, Discord, thank you again for everything tonight, and we hope to see you next time. Until then, folks, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus, and we'll see you soon.
Good night.
Night all.
Good night.